What's up everybody, we are back with another video, and today we finally moved the Arowana and the giraffe cat from the quarantine tank into the 200 litre tank. Sorry that I didn't actually film it. It's not that easy to film moving fish because you're more concerned with moving the fish and holding the, and you want to get good footage at the same time. So I thought, scrap that, there's no point, we might as well just put everyone on and just kind of let them acclimate for a couple of hours. In fact, it's been about a day or two since I've actually moved them in because the Oscar and the flower horn over there were picking on the Arowana, and I just wanted to make sure that the same events don't occur as the ones that happened previously with the giant gourami and the other Arowana that I have. So thankfully, the aggression has died down. There is still some aggression. Occasionally, the Oscar will chase the Arowana as well as the flower horn, and the flower horn will also chase the Arowana, but I think he's learnt a bit now just to move about a bit. You can see his tail is a bit beat up on the back, but it's not severe. He's not looking like he's severely injured and, you know, he's struggling in this tank. He's doing fine. In fact, he ate today for the first time, which unfortunately I didn't record because I didn't think to do any of that, because I still wasn't sure if I was going to do an update on this tank just yet, because I did want to just observe the interactions between the Oscar and the Arowana. But it's good to see that these guys are doing completely fine. If you can see on the left hand side, the substrate has been messed up a lot. I did say it before, there's no point really trying to keep your substrate clean because it's going to, not clean, sorry, trying to keep it tidy because it's going to get messed up, and this is what the giraffe catfish has done. I actually saw him do it the other day, a couple of hours ago when I fed them. He pretty much swam under that log. Don't know how, but he swam under that log and pretty much pushed all of this to one side. So that's that. The giraffe cat was out and about, and I went to literally just go grab my camera so I could film him, but he's now sitting in the corner behind the log, which is a bit of a shame. Because I did want to show you kind of the cool thing about him, but I'll just do that in another video now when I do a feeding video on this tank again. So there have been a couple of interesting interactions. So the giraffe cat is similar to the red-tailed catfish in the sense that they both like the cover, so you can see them sometimes fighting to try and get in the cave. The red-tailed catfish will be in there, and the giraffe cat will kind of swim in, and the red-tail will kind of just be like, nope, and force him back out again. But I'm not really too worried about much. Oh, there he is. Speak of the devil and he shall appear. I love the patterning on him. This is kind of where he gets his name, giraffe, from, because of those lovely, lovely patterns. And he's got the long, long nose, which he uses to dig through the substrate. I didn't really see him eating much in the other tank, but I've seen him eating quite a bit here today. So at least that's good going for him, as well as the Arowana. I think I said that the Arowana has eaten. And there doesn't really seem to be any issue. Other than the red tail, I don't think there is... yeah, the red tail doesn't really want him going into his cave. I think you might have missed that, my bad. But yeah, so the red tail is the only sort of competition the giraffe cat has. Nobody else seems to give him any sort of issues. The flower horn, the Oscar, kind of stays away from him and just gives him his own space, so I don't really have to worry about them. It's more just worrying about the Arowana. And that's really it for this update. There hasn't been anything else, like it's early days, but yeah, at least the good news is the Arowana has eaten. He's still managing to get food. Oscar just chases everybody about. He is a big meanie. He's pretty much the alpha of this tank. He's actually fairly big now. Kind of see how he is compared to my hand. I mean, you know, he was quite tiny when I got him. Actually, a lot of the fish have grown significantly since they've actually come into this tank. The red tail, I've done another video on them. He's grown a lot since he's come into this tank. The tinfoil barbs, who I thought were going to be an issue because I thought they'd be eaten by the red tail, they might still do. Let's not jump the gun. But they've also put on a lot of size as well, so it's good. I think the flower horn is the only one who's the slow grower here, but the giraffe nose will kind of be a slow grower too. Well, but we'll kind of just keep an eye on all of them. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to do the update after things had settled down and I kind of knew what the tank dynamic was. before I let you know that we've moved them in, just in case we needed to move them back out into quarantine just to separate them or figure out what to do, because I was thinking that if the Oscar kept on bullying the Arowana, instead of putting the Arowana in the pool pond, I would put the Oscar in there. Even though he is slightly smaller, he's got the attitude and probably would be able to do just fine in that pond. But they've all seemed to be doing alright, so that's good news for now. And everyone's getting enough food, which is great. I think I actually found out how to keep the aggression down. Just make sure this guy eats first and enough, and everyone else gets their turn to eat, and there are no problems. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. It was short and sweet, maybe you could say. I'm super psyched that the giraffe cat kind of came out in the open. He didn't used to do that in the other tank. Similar thing with the red-tailed catfish, actually. They didn't really come out much when they were in the smaller tank. I don't know if it was the bare bottom that made the lighting a bit more harsh. They didn't like it. But yeah, these guys seem to be doing a lot better in this tank. So, like I say, make sure you guys are keeping safe. Hope you guys are enjoying yourselves during quarantine as much as you can. I know there's not... Well, you guys can kind of be inventive. There are so many interesting things to do on the internet. Like, I mean, search on the internet for fun things to do. That might not really sound right, but you know what I mean. Yeah, so we'll do another update in probably a week or so, just to see how these guys are doing. I will keep an eye out for the aggression between Oscar and the Arowana, but at the moment there hasn't seemed to be anything that is too concerning. Usually, like on the first few days, there can be a bit of aggression. But he's actually, the Arowana is doing a lot better in this tank than he did in the other tank. He's less off a... I don't know what the right word is, or the nice word, but he's a bit more lively, and he's a less, I can't think of the word. Less skittish, that's the word. Occasionally he will kind of just like sit on one side and do nothing, and that's kind of why I like the dynamic where the Oscar or the flower horn will chase him just to make him move. I know it might stress him out a bit, but as long as he's moving about, I mean, like, he's got all this space, make use of it, kind of. And at least at the moment, this is the most active I've really seen him being, except for when he's eating. Even the flower horn, yeah. These guys, yeah. See, the Oscar just chases everybody. I think they've actually got, like, between the Oscar and the flower horn, they've kind of got, like, their two territories because they are cichlids. So I think the flower horn kind of has, like, this portion of the tank, everything from that log onwards, and then the Oscar has the rest of the tank. Apart from probably that little corner, which has now been taken over by the giraffe cat. I don't even think you see that. That little corner that's been taken over by the giraffe cat is probably no longer his. Or the cave, but the cave was never his anyways. So everyone else is doing great. And yeah, I'm super happy. So I will probably, like I said, keep you updated with another video sometime soon. We've got some other stuff coming up in the next few days, so that'll be pretty exciting. So hope you guys stick around to keep an eye out for these videos. I've already done the whole keep safe and peace out sort of deal, so peace out.